I will leave it up to you, my friend. You
All right, let's
take it
talk
away.
about the Chicago Bulls then, because what a free agency they've had in terms of just making a splash. I think you've got to hand it to them as the clear cut winners of this free agency. Stealing Lonzo Ball from the Pelicans with a restricted free agent offer that the Pelicans couldn't match and Ball was happy to take. Picking up DeMar DeRozan, who was arguably the biggest name available in this free agency class. And it's giving them a really intriguing starting five on top of the move they made last trade deadline for Nikola Vucevic. That might look like Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Vucevic, the man itself. This when started this segment talking about interesting storylines. How that starting five is going to handle themselves is for sure one of the top ones for me. This a huge splash, and you got the big players. I feel like I've got to hand that to them as a big W this free agency.
Yeah, I agree. And I have them as a winner of the free agency, a loser long term. But right now, they made that statement when they made the trade for Vucevic at the trade deadline this last season. And they've continued to double down on the fact that they now think that they are ready to win now. And there have been some rumblings that Levine is a little bit disgruntled with contract talks. And so what they've done here by getting Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso is they've just infinitely increased the depth of their guard rotation because I think DeRozan can play 2 through 4 in any lineup. And the fact that you still have Kobe White, who's kind of now just way out of the picture, but he is a top 10 draft pick that they have on that roster. It gives you a little bit of breathing room to obviously negotiate with Levine, who will be your number one guy this season, and you've got so much star power now around him. But it gives you leverage now that you have his replacement. DeMar is more than serviceable as a replacement. Ball is a solid defender, not nearly the same offensive producer as Zach, who was an all-star this year. And then like Alex Caruso and Kobe White are guys that can come in and give you good minutes. So it gives them a great position of flexibility and having this really offensively oriented lineup. Not to mention that Markkanen is still on this team, although we may see him moved in the upcoming weeks. It's going to be a really fun team, and I think they're going to have a chance to really compete for one of those middle seeds in the East. I don't think they're on the level of Milwaukee, Brooklyn, but they're certainly going to be fun. And a lot of it centers around Patrick Williams, and because he's going to be the guy who every night is going to take the toughest defensive matchup because none of these other guys really played that much defense. Lonzo Ball, you can make the argument that he's a good defender, but he's more of an off-ball defender and not necessarily the guy you want at the point of attack. And so this Chicago team's going to score a lot of points and they're going to give up a lot of points, and it's just going to be a heck of a fun time.
Yeah, already salivating over those Nets matchups for them.
I wanted to, mention that the reason why they're losers in the long run is I believe they now only have 2 picks until 2026. So they did give up the 2025 pick in the sign and trade with the Pelicans. And then they also had given up 2023 as well as this year's draft pick to the Magic for the Vucevic deal. So due to the stepping rule, you can't trade draft picks in consecutive years, which prevents them from going all in. But yeah, giving up a lot of draft capital. So there really is the pressure now on this team to perform.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the front office wants to do any trade or asset relocation with the Oklahoma City Thunder at any point over the years if they need a couple draft picks. But a win now move, which I think an interesting point you bring up about Levine, because I think DeMar and Lonzo will both make him better players as well as Caruso. And that should incentivize him to stay. And as my understanding of Chicago is they're still building a team around him, but this is a team that could function without him now as well. Although if your marquee all-star player departs, I don't know what kind of message that sends to the fan base, but it's nice to have a Chicago Bulls team that looks like it might be a threat.
Yeah, definitely fun and a big market that needs a little bit of winning because they haven't done some winning in a while.